Hello ladies and gentlemen, to the Capability Advisor web assessment tool. We have released version 9.0 and I'm here to show you the most important changes. So let's dive right into it. Alright, so first and foremost, we've upgraded the PHP version that Capability Advisor uses. Before we've used 5.6 and now we are using 8.2, which is quite a leap. And we can now enjoy increased stability, speed and security. For you, this will not very likely be very noticeable up front, but going forward, we can enjoy the new features, use them to implement nicer new stuff, nicer features, maybe implement some things that were impossible before. So I think you can also be very excited about it. All right, so the first feature that we're gonna look at, nice and easy, nothing too fancy. If you log in as an organization, we've built a scheduling view. This is not very advanced yet. There will be more coming in the future. But if you go to assessment, click on schedule, you will be prompted with January because today is the 22nd of January. So as you can see, it builds this nice little calendar view and you can see 3 assessments are scheduled. One is from the 15th to the 18th. The second is from the 15th to the 23rd. So quite a long one. And then a little short one from the 23rd to the 26th. This is not very functional per se. It just shows you which assessments are when. But going forward, maybe we can implement creating assessments from the calendar view and stuff like that. To use this, you have to make sure you put in the period. So if you go to edit assessment, look at the assessment ABC1 maybe that we saw in the scheduling overview. If you click on additional information down here, you can see there's the assessment period field. We've changed this from using a text input to actual dates, so calendar field. If you click on this, you get a little calendar pop-up and you can select the dates to start and to end this assessment. And click update, and then now the assessment is scheduled and it will show in the scheduling view. The assessments that you've put in the period before are not seeded because there's no way to parse this properly because everyone uses different stuff. So maybe if you want your assessments to be in this format, go back, change the periods for your assessments, and then you can see them in the schedule. All right, another one for the organization menu concerning Word templates. Before you could upload a Word template, that's fine and dandy, but now that hasn't changed, by the way. You can still upload Word templates. Even better, you can upload multiple. So as you can see here, this little view has changed a little. You can still, however, choose your colors. You can also choose the PowerPoint aspect ratio if you want to be old school and use 4:3, stuff like that. However, concerning the Word templates, you can choose a file. I go to Word template example. I will use this example file and add. As you can see now, okay, I've double clicked. As you can see now, there's the one I had before, the standard template is not removed. It's still there. I can still use it. However, the example file is, because I clicked this, it's the default now. Word template example.x is now the file that is a template that I've uploaded that the users can then use. I can change the default. I can also remove this standard template if I want. Maybe I will select the standard template as default and log out to show you this how this looks as the assessor then. Okay, let's go to demo assessment 1 and I click Word report. As you can see now, okay, I have this little window, use organization template is checked, that's fine. And I can select here standard template or the example file, and I will use the newly uploaded example file. I click export and I get my Word report. As easy as that. Like I mentioned, maybe this will be very useful for those that are running a lot of assessments. This is a Word report, new style, but same stuff in it, basically. This might be particularly useful in cases like you want to have a template that's tailored towards having an instanced assessment versus one that's for normal assessments without instances. Maybe you want to have a report template that's very detailed versus one that's more summarizing. Stuff like that. You can create these templates and upload all of them, have them all available at once. And then the user, when exporting, can choose, okay, this is an instance assessment, this is a summary assessment, stuff like that. Maybe for a gap analysis, you have just a small template to export. I think this will be very useful. I hope you do too. And let's continue. On the topic of Word templates, two things have changed that you, the user, has to bear in mind. First and foremost, as you can see, maybe the more keen-eyed of you have spotted it already. You now need to add the $sign before the placeholder squiggly brackets. This is a technicality of the library that we're using. There's nothing to do about it. So search and replace your placeholder or the squiggly brackets to add the $sign. As you can see, it still works the same, you just need the $sign for it to find it. And the more maybe severe change is that some of the charts and tables now need this little block structure. For example, the level achievements table, or it's a chart now. If you look at this, so it's level block, cap level, close level block. You need the structure in order for the script to find the place where to put the chart. We've put this also in the documentation. This also enables us to copy paste some placeholders and to create multiple charts in certain instances. There's the word when there's an instance assessment, for example. As you can see, also the ratings placeholder has been replaced by this little abomination. But please go to the documentation, change your template to this new format. I promise you, you won't regret it. If you look at this new and improved export, it looks way nicer. It's way more structured. It's way more modern. So I don't think you will regret doing this little bit of work to upgrade your template to 9.0 and reaping the benefits of the improved export. All right, and the last feature that I am going to show you today that concerns the organization menu is this new format that we've created for importing and exporting assessments, which is called CAAF. For importing in the organization menu, you should just select import CAAF. CAAF stands for Capability Advisor Assessment File. This allows us to not only export the assessment, including the PAM and the assessors, but also the evidences. It's way more rigid than the format that we've used before, and it's way easier to expand it when there's maybe future developments that we maybe want to put more information into this format. So all around a win for you and us. You can just select the CAF file that you have, click import, and you can import your assessment. I can show you how to generate one. So you log in as an assessor. You go to your assessment, the demo assessment that we are using today, and you click on export assessment. It's as easy as that. It generates your CAF file. As you can see, I have test exported already. You click save. Yes, I want to replace it. And let's open the file. And it's just there. It's a CAF file. That's it. You just use this to import or send it somewhere else to import it there. That's up to you. I think it's a great improvement. I hope you do too. Speaking of exports, a small quality of life improvement for the Excel enthusiasts among you. The Excel export, this little export report, Excel report menu has now improved filtering. You can choose which levels to export. You can choose to only export the rated performance criterions, stuff like that. I think that's very useful, especially the level chooser or like the level checkboxes. You can, for example, export only level 3 and then re-import it into a different assessment to reuse your comments and ratings of the same project maybe or same company. for different assessment. Very useful, I think, also for benchmarking, stuff like that. So use it to your own desire, and I hope you enjoy it. We have created a new view for the assessor panel, which is called Rating Overview. Sometimes, instead of getting the process attributes, maybe you want to get an overview of the ratings thus far. And you can, of course, go through here. Okay, I see month 3, and then I click ACQ4. I go through here, and I click someone. But this is not very feasible, I think. So you go to Rating Overview, and as you can see, I can see now ACQ4. I've rated BP1 through 4 with F, and then 1L at BP5. Month 3 is a little more colorful, let's say. Of course, this is a demo assessment. And you can also go to level 2 and maybe look at level 2, the GP 2.1.7, stuff like that. I think this is very useful, getting a quick overview. Hope you like it and you can use it in the future. Another important change for the assessor panel is some changes to the consistency view. So if you go there, click on rating, consistency. As you can see, the styling way nicer. You can now have a more of an idea of what's rated what, and there might be a consistency violation. And also you now have the option to click the covered check mark, the checkbox. This is very useful because if you violate the rule, it's okay if you can make a note and say why it's okay to violate this. So if I click covered on maybe these 3 and I click hide covered violations, now the list is smaller and I can work through those that are relevant to me. I don't have to scroll through all of them that I have already dealt with, and I can maybe hide all the recommendations as well. So now there's only one rule that I have to make sure to write in my notes why this is okay, or maybe I can change the rating to not violate this rule anymore. And I click covered. So now all the covered violations have been hidden, and I can also show them again. So now, okay, I can see these violations have been covered. I can scan through them. Okay, this is fine, and go back to work. Another highly requested feature of the assessor view was to maybe improve the quality of life for using the report assessor. So what we've done is you go to the consolidation view, you go to a process. As you can see, I have changed the lines that have been copied to the report assessor. What I've done is basically I've copied all of my comments to the report assessor using the copy to functionality, copy to ISCN report. And then I've hit this edit button and I get a text box, and then I can write new lines in here. So I can also create a new strength, hit the save button. This is now a new strength. I can also go and create a new comment from scratch. So I found another weakness. Maybe I would just want to have this in the report, weakness for report. I hit the save button. Now this is the comment for the ISCN report assessor. So whether or not you're using the copy to function, you can, in the consolidation view, go in and actually edit what the report assessor has as their notes. Just bear in mind, if multiple people are editing, the last one that hits the save button will be the one that saves it. So everyone can edit this, but I think very much an improved workflow, and I hope you enjoy it. Another thing that has been requested by some users was that in the summary, usually you want to summarize what the weaknesses were for this process. So why not do that and use the weaknesses that you've already collected? If you're using this strength, weaknesses, comments note type, you can see this copy weaknesses button. And if you click it, the weaknesses of this process are copied to the summary field. Same with the new weakness. I click copy. It gets appended to the notes that are already there. And now you can collect all the weaknesses that you want to have in the summary field, summarize them in some way even afterwards, and you're done. And lastly, you might have noticed that I've shifted position on your screen. This is simply because the notepad is on the top right underneath the logout button. You click it, you open it, and this is a personal notepad for you to track, maybe write down some interview questions, to check if some things to do, maybe map out the assessment plan. Like I said, personal, no one's gonna see this. It's per assessment, so when you start a new assessment, there's a fresh one, you might want to copy things over that you want to reuse for every assessment. And it's not gonna end up in any report, it's not exportable, it's just your personal notepad to keep track of things. To summarize, version 9.0. It might not be the most feature-rich version. There's some nice little modernizations, both in the back end and in the front end. Some nice styling changes for the Word template. The consistency looks way nicer. But going forward, since we've invested the time for the upgrade to PHP 8.2, the features that we can implement are going to get way fancier. They are going to get way more modern and more stable, and also the security has improved quite a lot. So look forward to version 9.1, 9.2 and so forth.